Hello. Why the fuck? Pulling at my chat. Fucking my phone was like, diabetes medication just for you. I don't even have diabetes. What the fuck? Thank you, ads. Perfect. Now I got the medication for my non-existent diabetes. Okay. So I want to try doing solo learns. Fucking coding things on here. Let me see if I can. This other coding thing I've been doing lately doesn't allow you to do the using namespace std. Okay, community. Need to find a better park for orders. Yes. No. What? They changed it. You have to have pro first. Oh my god, that's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. What are you doing, solo learn? Fuck. What am I supposed to do with that? That's crazy. That's crazy talk. Okay. Paint cost, sure, let's do this one. Okay, you can't see it, so I'm gonna have to write down what the thingamajiggers are. Okay. You are getting ready to paint a piece of art. The canvas and brushes that you want to use will cost $40 each. No, the canvas and brushes that you want to use will cost $40. Each color of paint that you buy is an additional $5. Determine how much money you will need based on the number of colors that you want to buy if the tax at the store is 10. Okay. So, canvas and brush, $40. Each color equals $5. I like how this is called Ballpark Dogs, and I can't even do that one. Fuck. I mean, technically it's still a thing. Ballpark Dog, $5. There's no consistency on that. Come on. Bit of professionalism. Okay. Vertex. Fuck, dude. Consistency. Vertex. Okay. So. Okay. Psi equals 0. Okay. CAB. So CAB, that'll be canvas and brush, equals $40. Okay. For int equals 0, I. No, it's not a for loop. Codes. Cab equals 40. I don't even need to do that. I could just add 40 at the end. Really, you're just doing simple. Once. Okay. Two. Eight. Oh wait. I don't need to do that. I could just include this. Gold. Times 5. Plus 40. Times 1.0. Okay, it's 10%. 10. Okay. How many colors do you please enter how many colors you want? And okay, well that's on me. So fucking dumb. $99. Okay, let's go to calculator, see if that's true. Okay. D plus 40 times 1.1. 99, it looks like it's correct. 55. 896. Calculator. 155 times 5. Okay. Plus 40. Divide times 0.1. 96.5. You know what the issue was? Double. If I would have done double. Okay. 225. There we go. Perfect. Finished. That wasn't a hard one. Okay. Save that as ballpark dog. That'll save as. Might be able to do the ballpark one from memory. Okay. Okay. I feel like such a badass for being able to write using namespace std. I'm so smart, guys. Look at me. Nice. Okay. Criteria. It's like pizza equals $10. Or pizza's 8. Nachos 8. Cheeseburger 10. Water 4. Coke $5 each. Okay. Strings will enter a corresponding with 4 items. How the fuck do I do this? Totally forgot. Could do something like, right? I don't know where I'm going with this. Okay. Need to somehow convert a string of 4 items to a convert string to numbers plus the stoy string to integer. Okay. Is that even necessary? Could I do an array? The problem is there's no space on the strings they give you, right? I wonder if that would count towards something. Can't think. Can't think. Fuck. I can't see it either. Yeah, I won't be able to do this from memory. So I'm just gonna have 2 ballparks, neither of them having to do with ballparks. Fantastic. Okay. Let's go back to Solo Learn and look at one of their community code things. Shout out to Solo Learn. It's actually really solid. Code Academy is better than it gets reviewed for too, by the way. If you're ever looking to learn how to code. Okay, skee ball. You're playing a game at your local arcade and you receive 1 ticket from the machine for every 12 points that you score. You want to purchase the squirt gun with your tickets. Okay. One hit 12 ETS, standard for points. Squirt gun equals There's no set given score R tickets for the squirt gun. So it puts in two integers. Two integers. I spell that right? No. Integers. If can try again if not. Okay. Okay. I mean, it's a pretty simple problem if I'm going to be honest. Right? So let's do int PTS for points. Tickets. Honestly, you just do points. Nah, PTS is better. So if I equals 0. Okay, now that's not complicated. If points TS if okay, so it gives me two values, right? Enter. So once your tickets be converted to points, it's unnecessary, right? Because it tells me how many. Well, okay, never mind. Points earned. Please tell me the number of points earned and tickets. Cost for and cost for squirt gun. Okay. If T S divided by 12 okay, wait. I'm doing this all backwards. Dude, what am I doing? Count. Okay. Line. A. Yes. this how you do it? I forgot. Okay. If points divided by 12 is less than cost. Count by its else. Try again. Okay. Should be it. And there's errors. Uninitialized local. Wait, what? The local variable's over there. What do you fucking mean? You know what? Let's separate this. Because it would make more sense, anyways, to separate it. Right? Points earned, PTS. Count. Please. Number. Cost of squirt gun tickets. Is this a problem? Line 11. It's not even on line 11 anymore. Unlocalized thing called cost. Oh my god, I'm a fucking idiot. That's on me. Please enter number points earned. 400. Please enter cost of squirt gun. 35. Buy it. Let's add it a little bit more. Okay. Count. Gun. Cost. Cost. Times 12. points. Let's enter a number of points earned. 25. Score gun costs 600 points. Buy it. Points divided by 12 is less than cost. Buy it, else try again. Huh. Okay, let's try a while instead. If statement's correct, but this isn't doing the math correctly. This just ain't mathing around. Let's turn up. Turn 250. Okay, so it's not doing that correctly. Okay. X equals PTS by 12. Try it out like this. This shouldn't really change it. It might. If X is less than. If PTS divided by 12 is less than cost, buy it. Shouldn't be counting by it. What do you mean? I can't figure this out. Why is it not doing this correctly? Fuck. If PTS divided by 12 is less than cost, count by it. Why is it not doing the right thing? Yeah. Divided by 12. Got an idea really quick. Should still work, right? Whoa! Just counted it. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Count. Yes. 12. So it did 200 divided by 12. 16. Right? So what is the problem here? This wouldn't be correct because this would be for a loop. Or? No. That wouldn't make sense. I'm just fucking... just praying at this point. Just throwing Hail Marys for this. Yikes. If point divided by 12, 100, 500. Motherfucker. Just why? So what is going? Maybe the problem is the way I'm asking the question. Right? No, because basically by dividing by 12, I'm basically creating an integer for tickets. It's gonna be weird, but let's try is not greater. What do you mean expected that on line 15? Eh? Do you not know how to integer? Do you not know how to exclamation mark? This is a legitimate statement. We're running a legitimate business here. What are you talking about? So you can't do that. Okay. That's cool. Points. Oh, maybe I've been doing it backwards this whole time. Here. Let's try it. Oh my god, I've been doing it backwards. I'm a fucking idiot. Oh my god. I've been doing less than. Fuck. 50. Squirt gun costs 600 points. Buy it. I'm a genius. What a fucking rookie mistake, dude. That's ridiculous. This is why you have to, like, reread your shit. Shit like that happens. Okay, back to solo learn. Do their next lesson. Not lesson, let's look at their next one. I'm going on the easy list right now. And cost. Did that one. Argentino. You're in a hat store in Argentina. The prices are listed in US dollars and Argentinian pesos. We have both, but you want to make sure you pay the lower price. Do you pay in dollars or peso? Exchange rate is 2 cents for every peso. There. So make a new one. USD versus peso. Okay. Let's look at this. Oops. Okay. Let's read this again. Comparing prices every 2 cents in USD equals pesos, not Mexican pesos or Argentinian pesos. Let's write that down. Okay. Misspelled cents. That's embarrassing. Okay. Two inputs. There we go. Let's look at this and comparing prices every 2 cents and USD equal Argentinian pesos. Put 2 inputs. Okay. Every US dollar. Okay. Pesos. And pesos into USD is equal to 50 pesos, right? Because 50 times 0.02 is 1. Period. I wrote that like it was a sentence. That's crazy. What's it mean expecting a semicolon? I got a semicolon. Oh. There we go. I'm a genius. Okay. Please enter the price in USD. And USD count to please enter the price in pesos. Okay. If USD is greater than pesos, pesos are cheaper. I mean, it's just basically just simple Boolean, right? If else statement. Oh, it's gonna be one of those ones. Probably gonna have to restart this. Look how fucking crazy it's being. Identifier count is undefined. Identifier sign as or C inputs undefined. What do you mean? Shut the fuck up. Else. Oh wait, never mind. Well, don't I look foolish? Else count. USD is cheaper. Okay. Okay. Should we also include a conversion? Count. Let's do a conversion. USD. Why is it saying it's unlocalized? Initialize local variable. It's in me. How's it what? Hey, what's up, Disgraced? Just doing a solo learn coding stuff. I've been learning a little bit of coding here and there. Yeah, I mean, I've just been streaming random ass things. But I'm streaming less because I'm trying to learn how to code. By trying, I mean I'm putting in like a couple hours of effort every day. Honestly, procrastinate a little bit too much. I wouldn't say I learned quite a bit. I'm at the same point. It's just like at the simpler stuff, I'm a little bit more literate, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. The fuck does that mean? Using uninitialized memory? I still do that thing where I immediately doubt me being wrong. Every time I've gotten something wrong, I'm like, I'm not wrong. The world's wrong. It was never assigned a value. Thought assigning it a value later, though. Right? can declare without uninitializing it. Fuck. Well, I guess I'll just have to do the formula somewhere else. That work? Nope, that did nothing. Not gonna lie, I thought removing the S would have been enough. Fuck. Please enter price in USD. Sign USD. Enter price in peso. Saying the problem's line 9. The thing is, if I remove it from line 9, the problem still exists, right? Nope. Please enter the price in USD. Price in peso. Okay. Okay. USD times 50 is greater than peso. Let's try it. One pesos are cheaper. Okay. 50. We gotta do that. $50 to 1 pesos are cheaper. Forgot that it's possible for the price to be the same if pesos USD times 50. Cool. Okay. One pesos USD. Pesos are cheaper, USD is cheaper. Why is it doing counting both of these though? It's because of this. I think I created basically two different if else, which is supposed to be Boolean, right? But by doing two ifs in a row. And I guess I could just solve this by doing another if. I don't think that's technically the correct way to do it, but it basically makes it a case statement, right? Not crazy. The world's crazy. Else if. I'll try that after this, so I'm just gonna see if this works. Enter price in USD, 1. Enter price in peso, 1. 50 USD to peso. Pesos are cheaper. Let's tidy this up so it's a little bit more coherent. Yeah. So. Okay, we need a space over here by USD. Rookie mistake. 50 USD to 1 peso. Pesos are cheaper. Okay. Please enter price in USD. Instead of saying 50 USD to, should be 50 peso to 1 peso. Because you're trying to find out if they're cheaper. What I'm doing right now is multiplying the price in USD times 50. Right? 50 peso to 1 peso. Pesos are cheaper. Okay. 50 peso, 50 peso, same. Should be pesos plural. Dude, I'm just full of mistakes right now. Pesos are cheaper. Okay. 50. $100. Okay, so that works. Now let's try this as an else if statement rather than 3 ifs. Yeah, what I have does work, but if you can do it another way, you might as well do it the other way too. Because I could do it as a case, right? Like via switch. But that's crazy talk. Why is it expecting this? On line 24. What do you want from me? It finds no issues with this. Nice. Huh. That ain't right. Not saying your if else statement part's right, or not right, but this part isn't. Right? It's telling me to put a semicolon basically right here and just calling it a day. It's not very cash money of it. We'll just go with the if. It works for now. Holy fuck, the whole thing's going down. What the fuck? No, it's just having a meltdown on... Okay. That's cool. Okay, We did technically do that challenge, so we're good on that one. Let's go to Solo Learn and pick up another lesson. I'm doing this in a ghetto-ass way because I tried doing the Solo Learn actual website, but the community tab doesn't work on it. On computer, you have to use it on your phone, right? That's not how you use else? Yeah, man. I don't fucking know. So Solo Learn is specifically built for computer. It's not built for, or specifically built for phone. It's not built for computer at all. They have one called Gotham City. Sure, why not? Gotham City. So if else statements don't work as if else, or else if, and then else? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Okay, let's find out the exact problem. Add a condition after else. It's just else. Did I put parentheses or? Oh my god, I did have it. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's on me. I see it. I see it. No, I corrected that mistake earlier, but I forgot to correct it this time. That's what I've noticed about coding, though. It's like if you like I always miss a small detail, and then I have to go back. Like I spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out why one of my codes weren't working. In 5 minutes, you saw that. And it was because instead of having greater than, like I was saying out loud and thinking, I had less than. So it was just popping out the opposite. It's like, dude, what's going on over here? I was like, I'm not wrong. The system's wrong. Okay, Gotham City. You are a police officer. You get a report of criminal activity. Should you go on your own or should you call a superhero to help you fight the crime? That's not how Gotham City works. If there are less than 5, you can handle this on your own. If there are 5 to 10, you want to go with Batman for backup. What the fuck? The person that did this question doesn't understand lore at all. If there are more than 10, you should stay where you are and let Batman handle it on his own. Yeah, you know, just casually calling my sidekick Batman. Okay. You are PO. Okay. If criminals are less than 5, oh. Okay. 5, 10. Nope. Nope. Okay. What am I doing? Holy fuck. Call Batman. 10 plus. Call in. Perfect. Truly the most Gotham problem in the world. Okay. Output. Put. I got this. Help me, Batman. Oh man. This feels like whenever your English teacher tries to like communicate with you on like, you know, like I understand your pain. It really does feel like someone that doesn't know about Batman was like, you know what? Let's do a question themed around Batman. That's the right move. I just realized I can have my headphone over both ears instead of one. Oh. Isn't this question so relatable? We got Batman. Don't the kids love this question? I mean, this is a really simple one, right? This is the same thing as last time. It's just another if else statement, right? These easy questions are just they're just reskinning them. Okay, well, let's do it. Let's put my brain power to work. Okay. Okay, let's do int x for criminals. Do we even need another integer? I don't know how to pronounce it. We'll find out in a moment. Something about doing coding makes my brain start slowing down after about the 1 hour, 1.5 hour mark. My brain starts going like, yeah, you know, maybe stop putting some shit in. Okay, x. If counts. Are we supposed to do this like a police officer? Dispatch calling in a crime scene. Is this how they do it? Okay. Dispatch calling a crime scene. Looking for available officers. Right. Spell officers, right? Yeah, I did. We got Coat. Dude, I think the hardest part about this one is trying to be a police officer dispatch. Dispatcher. Dispatch calling in a crime scene looking for available officers. Coat. You. Are there? Okay. How many are there? Question mark. Probably didn't need it. Oh, I mean, I guess ending the line just helps. Out. Sign. Use. Please pick a number. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay. Number of criminals. the streets. Sign X. Okay. Currently X. Okay, just because the world's ending doesn't mean we don't need grammar. Okay. Holy fuck, dude. Thirsty. Should be 5 to 9, right? This says 10 or more. Jesus Christ, it's like I breathed in dust. If X less than 5. Outputs, I got this. If X is greater than 5, greater or equal to 5. And X is less than 10. Out. Oop. You forget we're cosplaying still. Oop. Me. Batman. Wait. Swag. Gross. Out. You. I'm actually leaving work early. Very for the convenience. Good luck out there. Oh, at least we have Batman. He's pretty cool. Am I right? You. I think this is a run-on sentence, but you would be surprised. One time I went to Arkham and this dialogue is going on too long for the bit. Should totally reconsider doing this and maybe stop. But you know, it could be worse if you really think about it. I mean, Grandpa got shot in both legs and shoulders. Vietnam. No joke. He also dropped a palm strike on himself because the base got overran. But shit happens. But I mean, please don't fire me. End of sentence. Fantastic. Okay. How many are there? 2. Ooh. A lot of spelling errors. Else. If. Else. Else if. If else. Else if. Else. Okay. I got this. There are currently 1 criminals on the street. Oh, fuck. Oh, jeez. Currently. Fuck, I'm gonna have to do an if else statement if I want to correct the spelling or the grammar. Fuck. It's bugging me. Oh no. I could have a whole fucking paragraph over here and not fucking be affected, but 1 fucking S. Shit. Okay, we're going for it. X. Okay. X is less than is equal to 1. Else. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Difference between assigning and actually equaling. There are currently fuck. Jesus Christ. There we go. We're doing additional information. We don't really need that. Dispatcher calling in a crime scene looking for available officers. How many are there? Please write down the number of criminals on the street. 1. Dispatcher, there is currently 1 criminal on the street. I got this. Okay. How many are there? 5. There are currently 5 criminals on the street. Help me, Batman. 10. There are currently 10 criminals on the street. I'm actually leaving work early. Sorry for the inconvenience. Good luck out there. You know, at least we have Batman. He's pretty cool, am I right? You may think this is a run on sentence, but you would be surprised. One time I went to Arkham and this dialogue is going on for too long for the bit. We should totally reconsider doing this. Maybe stop. But you know, it could be worse. It really, if you really think about it. I mean, my grandpa was shot in both legs and shoulders in Vietnam. That's no joke. He also dropped a napalm strike on himself because the base got overran. But shite happens. You know what I mean? Please don't fire me. Sounds like a job well done. We killed it. Fantastic. And we did the else-if statement. Oh. Let's pick out another lesson. Hopefully this isn't just your standard else-if again. That'd be a real shame. Be a really shame. Heard it here first. Oh yeah, by the way, shout out to Solo Learn for like shutting off my 36-week streak. Just because a new year happened. I'm assuming it was a bug. It is what it is. 36-week streak. It's gone. Okay. Hovercraft. Okay, let's do it. To be fair, I started learning SQLs recently too. They're not really complicated. I'm pretty sure I don't know what program it belongs to. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like the Y2K bug. Shit was honestly kind of ridiculous, but I'm not too mad. It was only a 36-week streak. That reminds me of the Y2K bug, reminds me of Office Space. By the way, if you haven't seen Office Space, really good movie. Those were the days. Yeah. Yeah, they were. I was fucking baby then, though. Run a hovercraft factory. Your factory makes 10. Okay. Factory makes 10 hovercrafts per month. That's when movies were more based in reality rather than like ideology, fiction. Given number of customers did make a profit. Just spit on my shirt right there. Pretty grody. 2 to build sell for 3 insurance per month is 1. String says profit loss broke. Okay. make sure you check your arithmetic before you swipe rounding errors. Yeah. Nah, these easy questions have been pretty simple. One of the ones I struggled the most with, that I still haven't figured out how to do, and now you have to pay for the access to the question, was converting strings to integers. So you have to convert a string with no commas into 4 specific prices. So you'd be like fries, 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 and you have to convert that into how much it would cost for 4 separate fries. But it would change. So there's a list of 5 items. Yeah, I just can't fathom how to do it. Like, my brain just keeps blocking it because I don't have access to the actual question itself anymore because it costs money. I just can't figure it out. Okay. This seems like a pretty easy conversion. Right. I honestly don't even have to write down millions. I could just singular numbers. Okay. Let's see for customers. Okay. I'll do H for hovercraft. Please enter of customers. So it's 10. Basically, it costs 11 in a month, right? Nope, it costs 21 million per month. So it's like, okay, don't need an H. It's another if else. Nice. Oh, okay. I guess that's all fucking most singular codes that don't have an actual purpose end up as just if else statements or loops. C times 3 greater than 21. Counts profit. C times 3 is equal 21. Counts broke even. files. Oh. Please enter number of customers. Profit. It's actually count. Okay. That's 3. And over. Head. I got an idea. Of yeah. I'm an idiot. I don't have to. I keep on doing spaces after commas just instinctually. Right out. $153 million with an overhead of 21 million. That's profit. 3 million with an overhead of 21 million. Loss. Okay, I mean that's really bare bones, but that'll do. I'll allow it. I'm getting too old for this shit. Okay. I'll try to show what the one I got stuck on was. And now I kind of forgot how to do it too, by the way. Dogs. Got the fucking theme song from Bleach stuck in my head, like the original one. The worst part is it's in a language I can't understand, so it's like, it just sounds like mumbling in my brain. Basically, it's pizza, or not pizza, nachos, 8, hot dogs, 8, cheeseburger, 10, butter, 4, equals 5. String. I forgot if there's a tax, but tax would be like the easiest part. Let's just include it. Why not? 15%. Okay. Structure. Put cost. So that's how it is, right? Actually, there's no comma. Commas would make it easier. It's just space, 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 space. Okay. I totally forgot how to convert strings. I know you could do stoy, so that's string. It's like string string out integer, but I can't remember for the life of me. I think what happened was I tried making an array of it, but I don't know. I wonder if I can use vectors to fix it. Maybe. I don't fucking know. Void vector. Not do hot dogs plural just for convenience sake. Unclude. Don't include it. You don't have my permission. That's true. Hot dog. Jesus Christ. Dog. Water. I don't think making a vector does anything other than allow me to like pull out that information. Right. Yeah, I completely forgot how to do this though. So it'd like look something like, I need to stop saying like so much. Order. And oh wait, why would it do int order like that? Okay. So obviously this isn't working at the moment. I don't think a vector would be necessary for that though. It's probably a simpler way to code this. Your order. There. So that part works. Okay. But I need to figure out how to convert a string, multiple strings into. Ah, my brain. Ah. I need a break from this. Switching over to League, boys. It has to be done. My brain can't take any more. Maybe I should draw something. No. Yeah, so like I've noticed that ever since I tried learning how to code, after about the 1.5 hour mark, 2 hour marks, I mentioned that earlier, my brain starts melting. And like I tried working past that just to like push my brain to its limit, and I started getting nauseous. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I googled it. They said it's like anxiety, but it doesn't feel like anxiety. It feels like my brain's just like, nah, we're done. No more learning. Though, doesn't affect learning different subject matters. Which, if my brain is like the average person's brain, explains why a lot of schools, or all schools, you kind of learn multiple subjects in bulk. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like special needs. I used to be in a special needs class. Not because like I was actually special needs. I was in special needs class because they thought I was Mexican. They're like, what the fuck's a Filipino? This skin's brown enough, let's put him in with the Mexicans. I was like, okay. Yeah, I went to like an almost entirely white. There was like 5 Mexicans there per grade. But like just a little Filipino boy walk in, they're like, he's not white, let's put him in the like Mexican English speech classes. So it's like not special needs, but like they put some special needs kids there, and then the rest were just Mexicans and me. We were supposed to learn how to speak English. I don't know. It's like it wasn't ESL, it was like the precursor to ESL. Right? But yeah, we were supposed to learn English in that class. I got racially profiled the fuck out of. They fucking threw me in there. I think it's because I got a lisp. It's not super large, but if I like pronounce something with THs, you could hear it. So like you know, like Mike Tyson, just less defined, so I went over there. But yeah, little Asian kid with a lisp. They're like, okay, put him in with the Mexicans. Didn't hate it though. Didn't hate it. Because the class, you didn't learn in it at all. The teacher would be like, okay, say this sentence. And it's like, how are you doing? Okay, that's good enough. Then we'd spend the rest of the class just do magnet fishing. So it's just like all 4 of us, and they're just magnet fishing in my class. Like, dude, this is so tight. So while other kids were doing homework and like learning shit, me and the homeboys were just magnet fishing. It's a good time. And then when they realized that I spoke English and I didn't speak any other language, they kicked me out and forced me to go back to class. It was like that for like a solid month. Dude, I enjoyed it. What was I gonna do? Go to English class? Oh no, there wasn't even an English class. What was it gonna do? Put stickers on a calendar? Smells the teacher not take care of the hermit crab, so it died? It's like, okay. You're gonna read nursery rhymes. They're gonna make us sleep on mats. Ooh. Oh, it's even more fucked up because my little sister's half Mexican, and she only speaks English. Like she never learned any other language, and that like They did the same thing to her. But they put her in there a little bit longer because she, you know, it's half Mexican. Dude, she's fucking crazy. To be fair, though, I've never heard a Mexican complain about ESL in my school. So, once you get past elementary school, the ESL became like... It became like a blow-off class. So, a lot of the kids would work after school, so they would use the ESL class to just do homework. And they got like a free credit for it too. It's actually pretty insane. After learning that, I was like, dude, I really wish I would have learned a little bit of Spanish. Fucking heisted my own time back. To be fair, though, dude, in high school, if you saw me, you'd either be like, oh, that guy's Mexican, or he's Samoan, right? I was like 6 foot tall, 260, like 20% body fat, 23% body fat. Played sports. So like I looked really big. I remember at one point some Mexicans started they walked up to me and started speaking to me in Spanish. I was like, oh, wrong shade of brown, man. They're just like, oh, walked away. Yeah, that's the thing about, dude, Mexicans, because, you know, it's gonna sound a little off. Mexicans aren't like a race per se, right? Mexicans are a blend of Native American and Spanish, right? So like some Mexicans, they look really Spanish, and then others look like completely Incan or Aztec. So it's like a whole fucking duality. But not my little sister. Just looks straight Mexican. She looks straight Mexican. She looks like a blend between Mexican and Filipino. She looks like what the English books think invaded the Philippines in like fucking 1670s. Me, I look somewhere between Mexican and... I look somewhere between Mexican and like some, like, I don't know, Eastern European. My neighbor is Mexican, and because you know how some Mexicans look, they're white with red hair like Canelo Alvarez. Some crackhead was like trying to get into his house, but I didn't want to be racist because she was a white lady with red hair, so it's like she might be Mexican. So instead, I was mowing the lawn during it, so instead I just stared her down until she awkwardly walked away. And then when my neighbor came home, I was like, hey dude, you got like, did your aunt come over today? He was like, no, why? I was like, I don't know, some white lady with fucking red hair showed up. And he's like, yeah, I've never seen that person before in my life. It's like, I wasn't trying to be racist, man. I know some of you come in different colors. I'm learned. She was fucked up though. He did investigating around town too, because he like knows people in town. And yeah, he found out it was like some crackhead that lived down the road. That dude had all sorts of shit happening. He had a former gang member show up at his house because he confused him for a different gang member. right? Like, he recognized him, but he confused him for someone else. He was like... Because my neighbor used to be part of a gang, right? Keyword used to. And it's a big used to. My neighbor used to be part of a gang. And this guy, both of them knew each other from California. They were both in rival gangs. So that guy started coming around the neighborhood, like, looking for him because they thought the neighbor was related to a different Mexican. And the dude's like, no. He was like, why are you coming to my house, fool? The guy was like, dude. Or he didn't say dude. He was like, hey, you owe like, Carlos something. He was like, I don't fucking know Carlos. And he's like, are you related to Jim? No, I'm not related to Jim. He's like, oh. Well, you watch your back. Wrong guy. It's like, I mean, at least he admitted it was the wrong guy, but... Also hit him with that fucking watch your back. Like, oh, fuck. So my neighbor told me that, and the very, like, 2 weeks later, I was like, I got a gun. If we're doing a gang fight, they're gonna fight our whole neighborhood. We're doing the San Andreas style. Sorry, I haven't matured enough to actually realize how fucking scary this is. It's crazy though. I really did. First off, I bought that gun because I was like, if you need me, don't, I'll be there. And the other one was like, because I got a paranoid personality. So when that fucking crackhead was trying to break into his house, every night before bed, I would barricade my doors. I would like fucking barricade them with tables and fucking couches. Shit's fucked up, dude. Luckily I don't have kids. Can you imagine how crazy it'd be? I'd be scarier than the actual fucking crackhead if I had kids. I wish it was a joke. Just be like, Mom, what's Daddy doing? Well, he saw a crackhead, so he panicked. Barricaded all our doors. Last words he said is, it's the end of times. Huh.
An ally has been slain.
Yeah. Fortunately, nothing happened. Crackhead stopped coming back. And that's about it. The gang member stopped showing up because he had the wrong people. Yeah, no, I'm a legitimate, like, not the Joker, but, like, I'm one bad day away from, like, I don't know, being, like, Diet Joker. Like, I'm not gonna burn down a building, but I am gonna, like, barricade it. Riddle me this, Batman. Ah, dude. Hard to know that 2 years ago this Twitch channel was just gonna be me trying to do voice acting. Look how far we've come. We went from playing horror games to playing a lot of Project Zomboid to learning how to code, getting a mental blockade. We did a day of Duolingo at one point. Still kind of learning how to code. Eventually I'll do Godot. I've figured out that Godot uses a different code. It's either using C# or it looks like Python, if I'm going to be honest. I think I did 2 streams where I tried doing voice acting. They were like 5 minutes long because like, this is cringe. Oh no. My audio sucks and this is cringe. Oh, help. A lot of League of Legends. I've played an exuberant amount of League of Legends. I think exuberant's the right adjective. Yeah, so I've been doing Code Academy. And Code Academy is way more up my like learning style. Because I like being able to see examples, step-by-step explanation. Solo Learn will just like explain something to you, give you an example, and then it'll give you a fill-in-the-blank problem. And then every once in a while it'll give you a solve this problem, right? But being able to see them like all together with a fill-in-the-blank, not even fill-in-the-blank, but write it yourself with the example and explanation what you need to do, it's pretty nice. At a position for an optimal spot.
Shut down.
Unlucky. Yeah, Code Academy is pretty good. Unfortunately, all my progress on Code Academy is gonna go down the drain soon. Not because of the learning part, the knowledge will kind of stay, kind of not. But the email, so Outlook and Hotmail, they do this thing now where if you don't put in a phone number for the email, it'll automatically delete itself after like 2 weeks. So I have a Duolingo with no email attached to it currently, and then I have a Hotmail with, or not Hotmail, I have a Code Academy account with no confirmation email possible because I didn't get it in time. That's cool. And next week's supposed to be crazy. The CEO of PayPal like said they're doing a huge announcement next week. It's game changing. I don't know what's gonna happen. Pretty hype though. Also, I guess the Chinese market's collapsing at the moment. I don't know how true it is. They say they lost like $7 trillion in like 1 week or some bullshit. Which I think they're also the second highest holder of treasury bonds, so take that as you will. I think the highest holder of treasury bonds are the Japanese, but I'm probably wrong. Probably. Maybe. Boeing's kind of going crazy. I think Boeing's about to skyrocket in price. I think all this shit we're seeing in the news is like, it's been happening. But because we're about to enter a war and Boeing's attached to... I don't think they're weapon manufacturers. I think they're like, they supply the airplanes used in war. I think they're trying to get the retail investors to sell off before it blows up from us entering a war. That's what I think is happening. And I have on no authority that any of this is going to happen. I have zero idea. I have no idea what's going on. I cannot emphasize how little. I could 100% be right, but I'm probably not. You know that one of China's bank though, they had to like default or they declared bankruptcy recently. Also Evergrande, one of China, I think it's China's second biggest something. Oh, kill me. Yes. Yeah, Japanese citizens hold a lot of public debt. I think the US is trying to convert itself to a system like Japan. Right? So like Japan doesn't declare bankruptcy on their debt, instead they just keep pushing it out by like printing more treasury bonds or something. I think the US is trying to become even more like that. But it's like the US, from my understanding, so I'm not well versed in the financial system. But from my understanding, the US just it's pretty much what we do, right? You keep printing treasuries, or we keep selling treasuries to people, and that's how the US stays afloat. But the US also has like an extreme amount of debt held by the US citizens mostly, but by other countries too. It's the way I described it to someone, it was like it's almost like the US financial system's like cosmic whore. It's Lovecraftian. Once you stare into the abyss, it stares back. Don't be afraid. Accept your fate. It's not too late. The difference between a winner and a loser is the acceptance of consequences. Yeah, I mean, once you realize that US debt's basically just leverage, you're like, okay, well, the fuck? If the banking system gets to declare debt as assets or debt as future assets, it's like, come on, man. There's like some billionaire scam artist he was explaining, because he's $1.2 billion in debt. And they're like, are you gonna like pay it back, or are you gonna stop spending? He's like, no. I'm gonna keep racking up debt because I'm in so much debt, it's not my problem anymore. It's the bank's problem. It's like, dude, what a fucking Chad. Could you imagine racking up $1.2 billion worth of debt and just be like, it's not my problem? Shit, if I go bankrupt, it's his. Oh, fuck, yeah, I remember hearing that. They were talking about... Was it Canada or the US that was talking about printing out platinum coins to pay off the debt? I know one person was like, let's start printing out $1 million bills. It's like, I don't think these people understand how that works. You can't just print money, because printing money will cause money to be valued less. Oh fuck, Arnold Allen lost tonight. That's crazy. Lost to Mosfar Evolov. It's 18-0. And Arnold Allen was on the up and up. It's crazy. Oh. Chris Curtis is fighting right now. No, it's like I've been discussing with a family member about how like I think they should handle student loan debt, and it's like I don't think the government should pay it back, right? But I don't think we should also be crushing these people under interest rates. So I was thinking like what would be the best thing to do? It would be for the government to nullify the interest rates and can revert some of the interest rate payments. Because if you think about it, if the government wanted what's best for its college students, they wouldn't be charging them interest on student loans. And this would be way cheaper and more sensible than paying off all the student loan debt in the US. Because the same reason you're not allowed to declare bankruptcy on student loan debt would technically also apply for the same reason why you shouldn't be able, or the government shouldn't be the ones to pay it off in full, right? You can't take away education, therefore you can't go bankrupt on the education. But you can't undervalue, or you can't undermine the value of said education and then push it onto the uneducated to pay it off. Because that just reinforces like a class system where poor people are not only worth less, but they have to pay for the class right above them, which would be the educated class in this system. At least that's my opinion. Obviously, there's no surefire way to fix a system. If there was, then theoretically people would do said thing. If it benefited them enough. That's how the US works. If it benefits you enough, government officials might do it. Or, well, if it benefits them enough. Yeah, no, it shouldn't cost that much to begin with. Like, they definitely need to do a full-scale investigation of where all college funds go to. But it's like, with the you can only solve each problem one step at a time, right? So like by reducing the interest, or by removing the interest rate, and then also like I need to think this through a little bit more. By reducing the interest rate and reverting the interest rate, it'll help the ones that are already struggling with debt. And one of the biggest issues I hear about student loan debt is the fact that it's like damn near impossible once you're in it to get out of it, right? So it would basically, for the ones already in student loan debt, it would just help them start getting out of it. And then the government should be able to do like full-scale investigations over time into colleges, college expenses, where they're going for. Maybe create like a public forum where the public decides like how much they think college should be worth, and like percentages that should go towards actual education versus commission board wallets. I don't know. Income-based repayment. I'm not against that because I don't know the long-term effects either ways. I just feel like first thing, you can't... I mean, I guess. Especially because only what, 30% of college students actually utilize their actual college degree. That's a pretty low number. But I think first things first is like they gotta cancel the interest rate. Once you cancel the interest rate and then revert the interest rate, right? Because I've heard of one person where they've been paying the monthly amount they're supposed to pay that they originally agreed on, but their student loan debt's has almost not gone down since, right? Which, if is 100% factual, if it is, that's insane statistically. But if you cancel the interest rate, then it's not going to keep climbing. And then you can start working out what to do from there. Income-based repayment? It might not be a bad idea, honestly. Not even joking. Because it would allow some of them to get out of debt quicker. But the government really does need to... Well, the problem is the government's so in line with these fucking colleges and hedge funds and monetary systems. It's really hard to be like, oh, the government shouldn't do this, and be like, yeah, the government knows what it shouldn't do already. You know what I mean? Like, there's... You're talking about the same people that get paid $250,000 a month, but some of them have a net worth of over 100,000. There's only so much you can do before you're like, okay, these guys, they know what they're doing. But income-based tuition payment wouldn't be a bad idea at all. One could even say it'd be a pretty good idea. Because it would allow the people that are struggling more to get out of debt quicker, which would then make the system, or allow the system to start fixing itself at a quicker rate. I got a bunch of strong opinions on like how the system should function. Like I think the US, instead of paying Mexico directly to fix the US border, I think we should work with Mexico and create like a border cities, right? We should create border cities where it streamlines the process of becoming a US citizen. Not saying that like everyone should become a US citizen, right? Obviously there's some people, the criminal element, that really don't deserve it. But it would at least allow a filtering process to become more efficient while securing the border. One can say that we already have border cities, but I'm thinking more along the lines of like, not international, but like an agreed upon area where citizens there don't legally belong to either place. Yeah. One of the biggest problems though in the US is like, first off, the massive amount of lobbying, right? How much lobbying can you allow before you're like, okay, that's a conflict of interest, right? But another point is, it's like, a lot of people don't understand that the US government wants us to be impartial. They want us to think in Boolean terms, right? Yes or no's. Because if we think in black and white, it's a lot easier for them to create narratives, or control narratives. That's one of the biggest problems, I think. A lot of people think left and right. Yeah, it's... Someone looked into it. It's like colleges are typically filled with middle class. Most students in big colleges, so not community colleges, are actually middle class. So by doing a full-on student loan debt bailout, the people that benefit most are like people that are already well off. That seems to always be... That seems to always somehow miss, like, the speeches, right? I guess I die. Oh, I lived! Oh, I died anyways. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think by making everything polarized, it makes it a lot easier for the government media to control the narrative, right? By making every single thing a good versus bad, by not looking at things objectively. Because it's like, sometimes I get treated like I'm right wing, sometimes I get treated like I'm left, right? I'm not religious, I'm agnostic, I've already talked about that before. Like, I don't know what's out there, so, but I'm not gonna assume that everyone else is wrong and I'm right, right? I mean, it might be true. Shit might be fucking actually crazy out there for all I know. But it's like, so I think religion should be completely kept out of government, which is a talking point of the right, right? They say it's like, there's got to be a separation of church and state. But if you look at it, when it comes to a lot of the right-wing talking heads, a lot of them have a tendency to also, in the same breath, state that we need to follow certain rules because religiously it would be a sin if you don't. And like one of the biggest points I see is like abortions, right? We talk about like the fucking shit that would go wrong if we legalize in mass abortions. It's like you could be against your religion if you want, but that doesn't give you the right over another person's bodily autonomy. It just doesn't. But it's like, I think one of the biggest problems I have with abortion isn't with abortions itself. It's over the inconsistencies of law that are surrounding it. Where a fetus is sometimes considered a person and sometimes not considered a person, and it's inconsistently used throughout law in the US. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like inconsistencies. Yeah, see, that's the thing. So, like, right-wingers like to talk about the separation of church and state and being constitutionalists. I don't know, I turned into Alex Jones. But then under the same breath, they're like, we have to abide by these values. Because that's the moral thing, but the moral thing is based on your religion. Therefore, it's a religious view. So it's like, the hypocrisy in that. So I was talking to someone and they're like, what? The right believes in, basically believes like people have the right to do this and they don't push their opinion on people. It's like, that's not true. The right does it just as much as the left. It's just now that the media is portraying it the other way. If we're talking about 2001? Like, all the right-wingers were like, oh, we gotta do this because, you know, fuck them. Right? So it's kind of like flipped the way the media is who the media portrays as the bad guy. And a lot of people base their opinion on media. Always have and always will. But there are some issues I'm more hardline on. Like, I do think the school education system in the US has become too sexualized. There's too many people involved with kids' sexuality for some odd reason. Oh no, Bard. Don't give it to him. Oh my god, I've been pentakilled every day. For a week now. Every day. God damn. But yeah, and then it's like on the left you have like the left has become completely contrarian, right? So everything the right says, the left's like do the opposite. which, if your position is the opposite of someone else's, it's usually not really the best position, right? Because that means your opinion or your standpoint is completely based on someone else's opinion, which theoretically puts you at a loss of opinion from the start. But that's a lot of stuff, right? I know it's like racist to point out, but it's like the system has kind of been infantilizing. I don't know if that's the proper word for it, but they've basically been treating black people in the US like they're not smart enough to make their own decisions, which is a weird fucking concept of, in one breath saying you're not racist, but in the next step implying that they're dumber by nature. And they're not. They're people too. Unpopular opinion. But I feel like race doesn't determine a person's intelligence. Unpopular opinion. Playing it safe. Your friend complained that the school made their daughter choose a gender? Holy moly. Yeah, I think sharecropping would be tight. Every single person in my family's dream is to eventually own land in the country and just not live with people. Every single person in my family's dream. It's crazy. Yeah, shit. See, that's the thing, man. I want to fucking... I've been telling my family, I was like, if I get a lot of money, I'm gonna... I don't know. If I got a lot of money, I'd make like 8 video games, 2 movies, and then... maybe become a supervillain. I don't fucking know. I was telling my sister, if I was a billionaire right as soon as COVID started, I would immediately start trying to introduce polar bears to Antarctica. She was like, that's crazy. Why would you kill those penguins? And I was like, I don't fucking know. I really don't. I just think it'd be cool. We have polar bears in, the Arctic. What about Antarctica? I think it's about time polar bears get their fucking just desserts.
Shut down. Shut down.
Could be like King Scorpio. Don't know who that is. Googling it. Oh, Simpsons. Yeah. Well, it's like there's a couple things I want to do. Like, I want to raise chickens and then create, like, artificial environments that would emulate maybe a place in a wilderness. So, like, a place with abundance of nuts. And see if, over time, the chickens that are able to eat the resource in the area start showing physical changes best suited for hunting said prey, right? So chickens would... kind of like Darwin's finches, right? But instead of finches, chickens... because people won't complain if you eat a lot of chicken. Right? It's already a win. But it's like, I also want to like create super pigs. Like really big pigs and just release them out in the plains. And then I want to breed really athletic big rats. And just release them to New York. See what happens. But like, the more I think about that one, the more I realize how fucked up it would be if like a rat climbed a building and just like dragged a person's kid out a window. It's like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy that fucking brought super rats that are dragging kids out windows. But super rats seem pretty cool. And super plausible. But those are my ideas so far. But it's like you want to introduce just enough food where the chickens will survive, but have a resource available to them where if one of the chickens can get the resource, they're going to flourish. And that chicken will be bigger, stronger, and more likely to provide offspring in the long run. So we're like talking about introducing like rats to certain areas, have the chicken, basically the chicken that can hunt rats the best, most efficiently, will be able to eat the most rats, therefore their body will become more streamlined for hunting rats. It's not forced evolution, but it's evolution in a controlled environment. Because we already have it. Some birds like develop different wings depending on the city they're at. They'll be the same species, but they become their own subspecies depending on the city. Something similar to that. But instead of birds, like pigeons, we're talking about chickens. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, no one's gonna complain if you're fucking eating chicken at the end of the day, right? But also, so you gotta think of the flavor profiles. If you have chickens that are raised almost entirely on nuts, they develop bigger jaws. Their meat's gonna have a nuttier flavor. It's gonna be like more earthy. It's probably gonna be a little bit more fatty. Their jaws are gonna be bigger head. So it's like, yeah, they're gonna have more. The chickens could be better for soups, theoretically. And then chickens that are better for hunting are gonna be gamier. So they're gonna be eating rats and shit. So they're gonna be gamier, tougher, probably taste a little bit more acidic because there's gonna be more lactic acid in the muscles. Shit like that. Aquatic chickens are gonna have more fishy flavor. So it's like I'm thinking about introducing chickens to like shallow ponds where they could eat like minnows and tadpoles. And then in the center of the pond there's gonna be more grown fishes. Right? So the chickens are able to eat the fishes basically over time. The chicken that best suits getting to the center is either going to develop longer legs and longer neck, or they're going to develop feathers that are more suitable for diving. And then web feet. So they're either going to become more chicken, or they're going to be more flamingo-like or more duck-like. Because I want to do that kind of experiment. And it's going to sound weird, but I also want to create a system where you get like people send their dog poop, like bags full of like animal feces, send it over and start like mix it in that stuff with like dead grass, right? And start seeing if you can like de-desertify, like basically you're adding nutrients like manure to the desert areas to see if you can slowly revert the land into dirt. We got a lot of ideas. The chicken one's actually not that expensive. You only need to be able to keep data and like need 5 acres. You don't need to like build compartments, but creating separate ecosystems. But yeah, no, I'm just interested in that kind of shit. I have an interest in biology, like not learning it, but like over time I've developed an interest in the evolutionary part of biology, because if you think about it, every single thing evolved the way it did due to an external stimulus, right? So bison developed big heads because they were fucking ramming shit, right? Elephants developed tusks for like the removal of trees, pushing down trees so that they could get more food sources from like tree branches, shit like that. And if you want to get into the video game sphere, when it comes to creating a monsters, that plays a huger role than a lot of people like to think, right? Like, a lot of people subscribe to the idea of, like, Pokemon, where it's like, Joe Schmo is a Firebird. But when you start looking at things like Monster Hunter, you start seeing that, like, having fundamental laws on how the world works and why things evolve the way they do just increases the immersion. You see shit like that in I think like The Witcher, right? And you're starting to see it more in Pokemon with their variants depending on location. So it's not only is it just interesting like from a lore perspective, it's interesting from a immersion standpoint too. So like I've been getting into that kind of shit for a while. And then now that I'm trying to learn how to code, so maybe I eventually start getting into making games. That's only going to be beneficial. Having understanding. Being able to explain why certain monsters act the way they do depending on the area. But it doesn't change my opinion on the fact that I think the most well-designed monster in video game history, like my favorite design, is the Behemoth from Final Fantasy. Behemoth. It has the best design. It's just a fucking bull lion. A bull lion with a fishtail. It is sick. Well, it's interesting to me. The idea that you can do evolution like that. I told one of my friends if I ever actually start getting into it, because he's got a degree in like ecology. I was like, if I ever get into it, you know, I'll holler at your boy. I was like, yeah, if I ever do this and you want like, if you ever want like, I do this and you want in, I'll let you name one of the subspecies. Right? Alright, I guess it would be closer to breeds, right? Because you wouldn't call like a pug a subspecies of dog, you would call it a breed. I guess genetically it'd still just be chicken, right? So it'd just be a breed of chicken. But the chicken that utilizes nuts and has a larger beak, I've already decided, like, I'm gonna have to, like, look for the Latin name for it, but it's gonna translate to cock and balls in English. Yeah. No, I think that'd be cool. I've been thinking about game concepts. It's like, you gotta start simple. I want to make chess. I feel like if you can make chess, and you can... anything that's 2D with a board, you can slowly start implementing like changes. So I want to start out by making chess. I tried getting to it in Godot. Then I discovered that Godot codes in Python rather than C++. I was supposed to be able to use C++, so maybe I'm just doing something wrong. But then I was like, I kind of want to get more fundamentally sound in C++. But I've been thinking about like games. I've been thinking about one where it's like a really simple. If you ever played Slender Man, I want the game to function similar to Slender Man, but instead of looking for paper on walls, you're instead exploring a dungeon with like goblins in it, and you're trying to get through the dungeon without like getting murdered by the goblins. So like the longer you're in the dungeon, the more likely you're to aggro more and more goblins. Right? And you're like trying to loot stuff and then escape. And it's like, I want to create that because it'd be a simple gameplay loop while being mildly entertaining. But it would also allow the eventual upgrade to a first-person like dungeon exploration game that's more realistic. But that's more realistic, right? So the game would be more realistic, but it'd be like you go into the dungeon with very limited weapons. You have to like pick your weapons depending on like the area in the dungeon. So if you're entering a dungeon, you're most likely not going to want a greatsword, because greatswords would be less effective in close confined places. Like if you've ever seen Goblin Slayer, they explain that. I assume basic D&D also operates in a similar capacity, but could be wrong. But make it where different areas of the dungeon, as you get deeper, will start showing more and more different monsters. And just have it where you're extremely weak. The problem is, how would you balance it? If you include stronger monsters, then you would have to introduce like an RPG system. Right? Or you can go for an equipment-based system, right? So your equipment allows you to travel deeper and deeper. And then the gameplay loop just becomes climb deeper for a chance to climb deeper. And that's not really gonna have as much of a sense of accomplishment. Dude, I'm playing like shit right now. Sounds like the South Park episode where Carmen opens a restaurant by the same name. And I haven't been keeping up with South Park. I think the last thing I saw from South Park was I watched pieces of one of the new movies. Not the... I know they did something with Prime. It's called Cred. Wasn't that. Watched the one where Cartman like goes to an alternate dimension where he's Kathleen Kennedy.
Shut down.
I seen it.
Shut down. Enemy triple kill.
Oh, he names it Cock and Balls. Yeah, I mean, that would be a very good name for a nut chicken. So, nut cock. Cock and balls. I got some nut cock over here. That sounds like a fucking... something you hear in prison before you start choking. It sounds like something you hear right before you hear someone else scream for the guards. No. Also, it's like if I ever had money, it's like I'd want to contact Square Enix. I know like NFTs are not being utilized anymore, but the idea behind NFTs, which is just basically online digital smart contracts, that would work really good in like card games. You can have online cards with limited release of like said cards, which you only get with real life media and not virtual media. There's a game called Triple Triad. It's the card game from Final Fantasy VIII. That would do really well with an NFT based system and like a world map, kind of like Pokemon Go style. So if I ever had the ability to, I would contact Square Enix. Tell them that just so they can ignore it. Like when I personally sent a message to Naughty Dog telling them to purchase the right to The Suffering. And then obviously I didn't get a response back because Naughty Dog doesn't give a fuck what Tom thinks. The Suffering, though, is the perfect genre for them. It's psychological horror that uses gameplay similar to The Last of Us. So it allowed them to explore the fucking more edgy thoughts that Neil Druckmann wants, while also providing a very good and actually pretty innovative gameplay at the time, but just very, very good gameplay. Yo, these guys are fucking problems. I'm going in, dude. I don't give a fuck no more. Yeah, dude, I sent them a message. They ignored me. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought when you contact a game company, be like, hey guys, here's a freebie. There you go. That they'd be like, nah, fuck you. How dare they have ambitions? Who do they think they are? Oh, that's bad. I'm dying. Help! Help! Okay. Yeah. I think Naughty Dog would do really good with the Suffering. As long as they don't go for a Last of Us 2 style story. No offense, but you can't have a good revenge tale without having revenge. Spoiler alert. The whole plot of the game was pointless. Nothing matters. Everyone's sad. I think, one of the problems is it's like people think creativity equals forget the term, but basically it's where you actually ignore what would make sense. Basically, you ignore what would make sense in the idea of subverting the plot, right? You want to trick people. It was like what the people from Game of Thrones thought was good, right? So they had Arya kill the Night King because people didn't think Arya would be the one to kill the Night King. Another spoiler alert. Right? So it's like whenever you do plot twists for the sake of plot twists, it can and usually will take away from the actual plot of the story, which it did. Oh, looks like we're lost. Oh no. I have the most deaths. No! Yeah, subvert expectations. There you go. You get it. Yeah, just because something doesn't occur in a way that makes sense doesn't mean it's the right choice. Like in the recent Spider-Man comics where like self-inserts started having Spider-Man consistently get cucked because he left Mary Jane behind in like an alternate dimension. So that this guy who's writing the book can like live his ideal life of sleeping with a comic book character and being loved. That actually happened, by the way, in Spider-Man comics. Spider-Man leaves Mary Jane behind, who then starts a family in an alternate dimension with the comic book writer. Yeah. Just because you can trick people doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. Just like you can do payoffs and people can know it's going to happen, but the payoff is the fact that not only do you know, but no one else in the world knows. It's like when someone finally goes public with something they were keeping a secret, right? You hear it all the time. People like get fucking excited for that shit. They're like, oh yeah, nice. So like the reveal for Jon Snow's parentage, like people knew that from like season 2, or people had theories of that in season 2, or the people that read the book spoiled it for everyone else, and it was still like a fucking killer payoff where everyone's like, ooh, nice, right? So it's stories being able to actually, okay. stories being able to actually, you know, hint something at the beginning and then actually show it at the end. It's not bad writing. That's, in my opinion, that's good writing. Right? To a degree. It's called foreshadowing. Could you imagine a TV show or movie where they foreshadowed something at the beginning and it's like, not just it's a red herring, but like they intentionally mislead you the whole time just to be like, oh, wrong. And The Last of Us is like, you. I started deviating from the point. The point is that it's okay for things to pay off. Not everything has to have a moral, like a moral compass situation like they tried portraying in The Last of Us 2, where like revenge equals bad. You know, sometimes revenge, even if it does make you feel bad, it's necessary. And like moral outrage doesn't change human nature in that aspect. Revenge stories are some of the oldest tales when it comes to humanity. Actually, just nature in general. It's how a lot of creatures survive. It's the reason why wolves are afraid of humans to this day. Right? One fucking wolf killed, or a couple wolves killed humans, so humans hunted down wolves to near extinction in a lot of areas. And it's part of human nature to try to fight off anything that is deemed dangerous to itself, right? And to get revenge. It's why we title predators man-eaters when they kill people. And they're all kill on sight. Not just because they might kill people in the future, but because they already killed someone. And when writers feel like morally that's revenge is the wrong thing, it's they completely miss the emotional they completely miss the emotional state that a lot of people go through whenever they embark on such a quest. I don't know. I didn't like that. Also didn't like the chick's body. You can't tell me that in a fucking zombie apocalypse, fucking this chick was somehow getting enough protein to be like 210 pounds, 5'7", 210 pounds, 5% body fat. That's professional bodybuilder level musculature. It's damn near impossible. If you said it was the beginning of an apocalypse, you'd be like, oh yeah, sure, why not? But during the apocalypse, she's that buff? What fucking world? It's fucking madness. Yeah, I don't know if anything I said there makes sense, but it's like, I wasn't a big fan of the writing style of The Last of Us 2. I was okay with what happened at the beginning. It was fucked up, but it's like, it makes sense, right? And it thematically fits, right? The revenge only breeds revenge. Like, it makes sense. But my problem was, the whole game is just about a story of people wasting their time. At the end of the day. So nobody accomplished what they wanted at the end. No one. Like, literally no one accomplished what they wanted at the end. Right? Oh. Played so bad. What the fuck? Yeah, they were trying to be... Well, it's like... Yeah, they were trying to be woke to the point of self-parody. It's really crazy. I know it's gonna sound very anti-woke of me. But for people that care about, like... I don't know... diversity and... kind of like realism and their not realistic kind of view, they kind of do show an unrealistic amount of certain people and populations. And this is coming from a person where, like, I was pretty pro gay and lesbian from a very young age due to like a sibling being that. Like, sexuality is just sexuality to me. But I've never fucking been dropped off on a desert island and then 90% of the people there are just completely defined by not only their gender, their racial characteristics, and how they've been treated somewhere other than said island. It's very weird. Very immersion breaking. Yeah. Yeah, for me, once things start breaking the fundamental laws of nature and human physiology, sometimes it gets a little bit questionable, right? Like, Captain America, people expect him to break down the door and fucking climb through. Even Captain Carter, right? That's Carter whenever she gets the Captain America formula. But like, no one's expecting Black Widow to fucking grab a helicopter and hold it down. And it almost feels, like you said, like a point of parody if you see something like that, because of how unnatural it would be in a given situation. Yeah, for my personal thing, it's like, the media gets to the point where it's immersion breaking. You have to question if you have the right people writing. Media should be immersive so that people can relate to it, watch it, and, you know, being able to relate to characters is a very important component of creating fandoms. But like, some of these modern day writers, they have zero fucking understanding. It's like when The Walking Dead would kill off a black person every season and then introduce a new black person to fucking compensate. It's like, you know, you could just, I don't know, tough opinion, but not kill them off. You know that, right? They don't need to die, dude. You don't have to introduce new black people. You just, you know, not kill off the old one, and then, yeah, you can introduce new ones if you want. But you really don't need to keep killing them off. It's kind of fucked up if you think about it. Yeah, and the fucked up part is, it's like, you like them too. They're cool characters. Noah was tight, right? Cool background. T-Dog was fucking tight. But, like, I understand why they killed him off. But, you know, he's tight. I mean, they didn't kill off Father Gabriel or Michonne. That's good. If they would have killed off Michonne, there would have been, like, fucking riots on the street. Everyone loves Michonne. Father Gabriel, he grew on people. But it's like, you didn't need to kill fucking T-Dog. But I understand why they did. Because they wanted him to be, like, sacrificed. You didn't need to kill off, I forgot who the really buff guy is. Like, he reminds me of Kimbo Slice. He looks nothing like Kimbo Slice. I think his name was actually Tyrone. But you didn't need to kill him off. He was cool. I think he's still alive in the comics, but I could be wrong with that. I'd never read the comics. But like, at one point, like, they would introduce a black character, and then they would immediately they would kill the old one and introduce a new one. It's like, dude, just keep them alive. I don't need to kill him off, man. And then, like, they introduced, like, the fucking LGBTQ content pack. The fucking DEI content pack where they introduced a mute person to the apocalypse. 2 lesbians. One of them ends up becoming, like, transgender towards the end. Like, 2 deaf people. It's like, is this the hill you're wanting to die on, fucking Walking Dead? Okay, sure. It's a little weird. Then they ran out of creative juice, and they're like, what do we do? And they're like, what if we make some of the walkers 20 years into the apocalypse mutants? And it's like, that's a terrible idea, but why not? Sure. They'll add mutant walkers.
Shut down. Enemy
We'll kill off some major characters. Introduce an Indian guy to replace him, or Pakistani. It's one or the other, I think. Could be wrong on both. His name is Sadiq. Fucking kill him off. Have him knock up the Mexican chick that was in Dead Declassified School Survivor Guide. Don't mind me. I'm just walking down this hallway casually. If you kill me, you're a slut. Shout out to fucking Silicon Valley for that one.
If our existence is everyone else's,
They're nagging you, man.
they might march more to their death. Like everyone in Noxus.
I think one of the bigger issues when it came to The Walking Dead, other than like intentionally introducing characters for diversity's sake, which is immersion breaking, but was the fact that they started introducing music for every scene. Every scene had to have empowering music. Like, everything had to be heroic. It's like, dude, not everything in life is dramatic, dude. Even in a zombie apocalypse. You think people are over there like, oh, I ain't had milk in years. I'm gonna fight my best friend now. Nah, dude, fucking people are just chilling. Turns out in survival situations, one of the most important things to do is survive. People aren't just over there wrestling each other like, I killed you. You betrayed me. Not, I mean, that does happen technically. Especially, like, you can look at Chinese history for proof of that. Like, people are just like, oh yeah, we conquered new lands. Wouldn't it be weird if your best friend betrayed you? And half of our population had to resort towards cannibalism? It'd be a real shame. Chinese, I saw a meme on Chinese history, dude. This shit's crazy. It really did seem like every single time there was a victory, some guy was just like, but, what if? Wouldn't it be crazy, man? Not saying I'm gonna betray you, but wouldn't it be crazy if I did? Yeah, it'd be fucking crazy, dude. Why would you do that? We just finally got peace. Like, I don't know, you know, man. I like the fuck, man. It's crazy. Okay, he jumped on me. To be expected.
Kill.
Yeah.
Down.
Chinese history is pretty lit. Just in case you're listening, China, you know. But no, on a serious note, Chinese history is pretty lit. Anytime history is memeable, you know history is pretty good. Okay. I know we were just getting into good bits of Chinese history, but we're gonna call it there. Disgraced, as always, it's an honor. Next time we'll talk about the Hong Dynasty. I don't know what that is, but you know, you get it. Joke. Yeah, see ya.